Evening, everyone. I will be right with you here in a second as I am getting things organized. We have some important information to get into today. Um, I went ahead and named this live stream More Chaos and Division. Now, I don't know about you people out there, but I'm going to take some stuff off of my word list here that I notes that I've taken, so to speak. Now, this is a sad time for our country right now. We are going into a depression, not a recession. We've been in a recession actually since 2008. Um, we are actually going into a depression. This, you could say, is pushing the 2025 project that they said, oh no, they weren't going to do. The government wasn't going to do that. And it looks like it's actually happening right now, right before our eyes. Um, we have many things that are happening right now. Um, there's a possibility that many people in this country will not be receiving their SNAP benefits, including myself. Um, I'm an older gentleman. I do get SNAP benefits for assistance. I am on Social Security. I do not live on a lot. I am not a rich man, although some people will say different, but it's only because of the things I have accumulated over the years. Um, but yeah, um, let me put my second pair of eyeballs on here. um, but yeah, you have a court judge that has basically um, forced Donald Trump into a couple of judges, forced Donald Trump to distribute benefits. Um, you have stores that are being gang rushed right now um, because they're not sure if they're going to be getting their benefits or not. Um, you people don't realize what this is actually going to do by causing all this chaos and division and racism and all this stuff. Um, it's going to make the prices go higher than what they already are. Because if you think that these stores are going to eat the cost of all these goods being stolen, I mean, their insurance companies only cover so much. And then guess what? The store's got to eat it, and they're not going to eat it. They're going to pass their losses on to you and me, um, which is not a good thing at all, actually. It's not a very good thing whatsoever. We are definitely going into a depression. Now, what's all this going to do? Well, it's going to cause more division, more racial tensions, um, and this shutdown is actually causing people to go broke, to go bankrupt. You have millions of people now that are being laid off. I mean, this is getting to the point where if you can't see what's happening across this country, uh, then you're not really paying attention to what's going on. You have people that are literally losing their jobs, uh, and it's all due to AI, and it's also due to these big elites that run these big companies. They're laying people off, reducing their staff because they're doing this AI and this robotics that are basically killing your jobs. So we'll get into a little bit more of this in a little bit, little while. um, yeah, you got people that are totally going bankrupt. Schools aren't getting the proper foods they need to feed the children in this country. And now you also have the Section 8 that is no longer being distributed to the people that are on Section 8. So many of yous are at this moment being evicted from your residence because you don't have the money to pay for it. So guess what? These landlords are not going to let you stay there for free. They got shit on by the government during that poke in the arm pandemic. Okay, so that started it. They found out how much they could control the people, we the people, and that has turned into uh, now a continuous uh, way of taking away our freedoms and our rights and wages and buying power and society. I mean, we're not living a life that we lived uh, back in 2008, even back in 2017, for that matter. Um, Now, if you've all noticed, and I know how you cannot notice what is going on as the prices are continuously going up higher and higher and higher. Groceries are outrageous. You have President Trump and all these other people talking about, yeah, yeah, prices are coming down, gas is coming down, this and that. Gas has come down a little bit, and it should have been way below this uh, for quite some time now. You also have, excuse me, you also have the electric companies that are raising their rates sky high. You have uh, mortgages that are doubling in price. The insurances are doubling and tripling in price. This is getting to the point where does it end? Where does it stop? They're outpricing us on everything, and now we're losing our normal ways of life. You have people that cannot cannot make ends meet at all, any way, shape, or form anymore. They're totally bankrupting the American people. Um, so yeah, the government is controlling your lifestyle. We keep on losing more and more freedoms, and there's too many crimes. There's total chaos going on. Everything is overpriced. Money is deflated. You're underpaid since 1971. Uh, and look, we just had the FBI arrest multiple people, and they had a plot to stop a terrorist attack. Um, like I say, this is becoming a total reset. There's a lot of division in this country now. There's racial issues, like I have said. Um, Also, yeah, there's more and more people that are being laid off. The government shut down to cause more famine, bankrupt more people. The banks are going under. The FDA just gave the banks $160 billion to keep them afloat. Uh, I would suggest if you have money in the bank to get your money out of the bank. I would suggest that you purchase some gold and silver and buy food as you can. Try and get as healthy a food you can. And if you can't freeze it because you may lose power, I would suggest canning it so you have it on hand. Now is the time to get your candles, your kerosene oils for your kerosene lamps. Um, Now is the time to get some warm clothing if you don't already have it, because we have very cold weather that is approaching us now. You have a lot of things that are not in our favor at all at this point in time. Um, like I said, we just went through a recession there in 2008, and government was just printing that money like it was going out of style to make everybody under the illusion that yeah, everything was all good, and we were going to pull out of this and everything was going to be fine and dandy. It's not so fine and dandy because this government's collapsing right now. um, and I say this is a government reset because this shutdown is causing more havoc, more division, more people losing jobs, people starving, children starving, people becoming homeless. uh, it's getting worse and worse and worse for the American people. Here you have our politicians, these Democratic politicians that won't vote to open this government. And what's happening? They're still getting paid, but you're starving. You don't even know how you're gonna, if you're gonna have a place to live. If I mean, they're causing all this problems, and we're the ones that are suffering because of it. Our country can give hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries, but they can't take care of you and me. There's something wrong with this picture. Very, very wrong. Now, with the EBT and the SNAP benefits, I can understand how that could be good in one aspect, because what it's actually doing is it is going to be another reset, so to speak. They're going to go after all these illegal immigrants in our country that are collecting SNAP and Social Security that they shouldn't be collecting. Um, these people are living better than your average American person. You have to realize that we've been losing our buying power over the years because the government has been controlling our wages. If you're making $30 an hour today, uh, you can't make it. You have to be making at least $66 an hour to be able to get by. I mean, just to get by because of all the more expenses that we have to pay now. Okay. Um, Everything is just out of reach for everybody. Okay. Now, AI is screwing us over because AI is what's regulating the prices of the stock market to keep the stock market looking like it's going good. The FDA is the Federal Reserve. They're pushing money into the stock market. They're pushing money into the banks. They're trying to give you the illusion that everything is going fine when it's really not. It's all collapsing here. Um, Now, this is not a good thing. Like I say, people are losing their jobs left and right. What's that cause? More rise in prices. Farmers can't keep up. I mean, people can't work. You don't have the people that are going to be uh, able to make deliveries and all this other stuff properly, because this is all getting totally out of hand. Um, and the chaos begins. um, yeah, your health care went up 160%. Your electric bill is sky high. There's people that were paying, say, $300 a month for electricity, and now they're paying $600 to $800 a month for electricity because they just got increased. Um, you get to the point where everything is crashing. Like I said, this could be Project 2025 or the World Economic Forum that is pushing all of this. Uh, uh, the fall of America has begun. Every country, after around 200 years, goes into total chaos. And like Rome fell. You have a lot of these countries all around the world that have all fallen. And what had happened? They have all totally reset their governments. Um, and since that's happening to us here in America, I don't know how you feel about this. You have people that have voted for one person who's a Muslim that is for infiltrating New York City. You have another Democrat that was voted in that believes that he has, how should I say, um, he has had dreams and says that he wants to kill every Jew and every Christian person and children and watch them die. Uh, this is this is not right here in this country. This is a Christian nation. I don't know how this country can survive much longer ever since they took out the Warner Act in our government. Now we have been infiltrated in our government, in our states' governments, and now everything is collapsing. You have the Democratic Party that is not for the American people at all. They say they want $1.5 trillion for all these other countries and LGBTQ plus and all this different stuff that has nothing to do and shouldn't even go to any of these countries to help any of these countries. And yet the Democrats are pushing for all this socialist, communist, Muslimist stuff. So where do we go from here on all this? Um, well, I'll tell you what's going to happen here shortly. Uh, when everything crashes here, and we are in a total collapse right now. You might not see it yet, but trust me, it's definitely going to happen here as of starting now more than ever. Um, and if there's not a martial law put into place because of all these riots and chaos and division that's going on in this country, um, every city is going to be looted, burned, total chaos throughout this country. It's um, it's just starting now. It's going to be a lot worse. Um, you also have the next thing that they're going to be pushing, since everything is crashing, um, is your digital ID. Digital IDs, they're already pushing that for your driver's licenses and all that stuff. And also, along with that, they're going to be pushing a digital currency so that you'll have a limitless society. Basically, that's for the government to spend all the money they want, and they don't have no limits on any of that. But you're going to have your limits. You're going to be paying dearly because they're at the point right now where there might as well have been a king in this country for what they're actually doing to we the American people right now. They're laying us off. You try to take money out of the bank, and they're questioning why you need to take money out of the bank, and they're asking what do you need to take the money out for. Uh, and then they question that, and they say, "Well, we can give you a check, or we can give you a note, or this or that, or that." No, you want your cash? Get your cash. Even if you have to make an appointment to come back the next day or so or a week later to collect the funds that you want to take out of the bank, especially if it's a large amount of money. You have to have them arrange it to be delivered to the bank so that you can receive it. And then you still have to sign a statement stating that you're not going to be using the money illegally, this, that, and all kinds of other kinds of crap that they try to throw at you. So there's a lot of things to think about right now. Um, and since the robotics and AI is basically taking over everything, do you have anything else you can do as far as a trade? Are you mechanically inclined? Are you good at building things? Are you a woodworker? Uh, can you fix refrigerators? Can you set up solar? Can you take care of getting the food that you need to stock up on now? Because if you think prices are high now, it's about to get a lot worse. And I guarantee you may be paying 50% more than what you're already paying. It's to the point now where a person that is making $7.58 an hour, which is still minimum wage in some states, that doesn't even pay for a pound of ground beef. So you got to think about that if you're a meat eater. Um, as for myself, last month I had purchased a bundle of meats from a butcher. Uh, I do that because I do not like what I see at grocery stores, and for what you're paying at grocery stores, I can get a better deal from a butcher than I can a grocery store. So I would suggest you do something like that. There are people now that cannot afford to purchase meat, so they're turning into vegetarians because even that's getting ridiculous. There was a gentleman that I had watched here on YouTube that stated he bought one large head of cabbage and it cost him $18. Oh, Lord. And yet, our government won't take care of our farmers to grow food. I hope you know how to grow food. You know, you can grow plants in your house, your vegetables. You can grow them in a tote and grow them in the house, and so you have fruit and vegetables type of thing. Um, like right now, I mean, even though it's November, I live here in Florida where the temperatures are well in the 80s and 50s at night, but we're supposed to have a cold front coming through, and I mean, I can always throw a sheet over the vegetables so they don't get frostbitten. But for me, I'm trying to grow fruit pretty much all year round now, and vegetables. Um, it's getting to the point where if I mean, if you know a farmer, go to a farmer and buy eggs. I mean, you don't know what's going on in these grocery stores and what other people are going through right now. So, um, you could get fresh milk from a farmer, and yeah, it may cost you a little bit more, but you're getting the proper vitamins and minerals that your body is lacking. And when you buy your pasteurized milk and stuff, it's been, should I say, heated up through this pasteurized process, which kills a lot of your vitamins and minerals that are in this milk. So when you get whole milk from a farmer, and I've had and heard from doctors, oh, well, you can get listeria, you can get this, that, all that. You know what? The Amish have been doing this for centuries. You don't hear them complaining about listeria or bad milk or anything like that. And if you do get so much fresh milk, you could always can that. And it stays just as fresh as, you know, the milk you get today out of the stores that's doesn't have the nutrition. It But the fresh milk is better. The fresh eggs are better. When you buy a half a cow from a butcher shop or a quarter cow or whatever, they have different packages that have pork, chicken, beef, and so on. Other animals as well. You can get lamb, you can duck, and I can go on and on and on all this different stuff. This is a time when we're in we're into hunting season, and I get a feeling now this year there's going to be a lot of poachers out there, whether they have a license or not. I mean, they're just going to go for that meat. They want that venison, that squirrel, that rabbit. they want they want food in their freezer. And with these prices going sky high, we've all been hearing for quite a while now that there's a possibility of the electric grid going down. Now, are you prepared for that situation? Because right now, like myself, I have solar that saves me a lot of money in electricity. I'm producing my own with my solar system. Do you have a generator like a Generac or something like that, or these ecosystem generators, Patriots generators? I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of generators out there that you can charge up, and they'll run off of a small solar panel to charge them up if you do not have grid power. Also, what do you have for communications? Do you have walkie talkies for, say, short distances? Do you have a citizen band radio where you can use off of your vehicle and talk to a neighbor, family member, and give them a holler on a certain channel at a certain time to let them know what's going on or the situation? I mean, things like that. You can stay prepared for the issues that we're all going to be facing here right now. I mean, we're into some really, really rough times. And it's going to get a lot worse because people are snapping. They can't get their medications now because of this shutdown as well. So, all these different people that take these medicines for whether they're bipolar or have some kind of mental issue, and they take medicines to keep them pretty much sane. Now they're not going to be able to get their medications. And guess what? These people are going to start to snap. And we're seeing this stuff happening already around this country. You have people that are turning to more drugs and getting into the fentanyl and stuff like that, where they're turning into total zombies hunched over in the streets of our country right now. We are definitely getting into a very, very rough situation right now. Let me check something here real quick before I go any further. Um, See, now this is where they're talking about the government shutdown, which I mean, these are things that are happening that people are suffering. They can't make ends meet. What are people going to do? They have no one to turn to. You have all of these government companies and facilities and programs that are supposed to be helping the American citizens. And now that the government's shut down, there's no help for you from these institutions and programs. Do you have people that could help support you that you could talk with to try and make sense of everything that's going on? I mean, we're in a really, really tough situation right now. That's why I say we're basically uh, in a total government reset. Things are going to happen here that you're not going to expect to happen. Um, it's to the point where people just don't know what they're going to do anymore. They, excuse me while this train goes by. Well, a train is going by, and I'm talking about something like this. It reminds me of a movie I once seen where it showed a train going down the tracks, going past some people. It was totally on fire. I can't even remember what movie that was, but who knows? I may see that happening, going right past my house someday. Is a train totally on fire going down the tracks? Our society in this country is totally collapsing. Um, you have the Muslims that are infiltrating this country and getting into the state governments, which are trying to convert people into the Quran and into their beliefs. Um, this is a time where the American people need to, the true American, Christian American people, you all need to get your pew pews and your yeah, stock up on your little projectiles. Okay. Um, I'm saying this because yeah, chaos. The division has already started. Thank you, Obama. Uh, I guess I could say it was good while it lasted. Unfortunately, living the years I have on this great nation, I have seen what it was like to have true freedom in this country. Before the cell phones, before the internet, before all of that stuff, before the corruption. And I say it all started way, way back as far as November 22nd, 1963. John F. Kennedy was about to tell the American people a secret plan that the government had in place. And he was taken out because of it. The government, whether it be CIA or FBI, or it was all a big cover up, no matter what it was, they took him out. They didn't want him to release the information to let we the people know how corrupt they were planning on becoming. And then you had Nixon that took our dollar off the gold standard. Ever since then, it had become basically monopoly money, so to speak. And you had where the government was finally getting their act together when Bill Clinton was in office. Yeah, he had his issues, but he did have our country without a deficit. Um, he had us so that we were back to a booming economy. And then I can get into, you know, I mean, people, you got to realize that credit cards didn't hit the market for people to use until 1989. Okay. Um, and that's when you only originally had a Visa card, a MasterCard, American Express, and Diners Club card. And then, of course, shortly after that, then you had Sears and Roebuck come out with their cards, and J.C. Penney's and Wally World and all these other stores that come out with these credit cards, because before then you had put stuff away on layaway and you'd pay the store so much every month, and then when the item was paid off, you'd pick it up at the store. Um, like I say, that's before the credit cards and stuff. I mean, I used to walk into a bank with a bank book and you know, in a little case, and you would have all your information on your withdrawals and deposits and all that stuff from your bank account back then. That's before the debit cards and all that stuff. So going through all these years, even when we had gas wars, when Jimmy Carter was president, I mean, you people just don't realize what my generation went through. I mean, it's similar to saying fake from reality, fiction and nonfiction. Okay. I remember as a child when movies came out, from black and white movies to being in color. The Wizard of Oz is a good uh a good movie to watch, because that's when TV and your movies went from black and white and went into colored film and live in-person colored TV shows. Um, that was a big transition back then. Uh, you go through all these different things and you watched how it happened. And of course, you wouldn't get the movies in color on your TV, because back then you had a black and white TV, unless your parents were making a decent dollar and they could afford to buy a colored TV when they went out on the market. And then, of course, then you'd uh, be able to see like your live TV and me here in person in your living natural color. So it it was a big change in society, in my world, and growing up through that. And then, you know, then we got into the cell phones, the little flip phones. Um, you could text somebody, but you didn't have the social media platforms that we have today. Um, that was just texting each other through their phone number and stuff like that. But I mean, most of our stuff, we had the landline phones. Okay. Unfortunately, the landline phones today are through these companies like Spectrum and everything. And if you lose your internet service, you lose your landline phone. So it doesn't do you any good to have a landline phone today, because when your power goes out, you don't have a direct line that stays live during an emergency or a power outage or any of that other stuff, which is, I think they lost their mind on that somehow. So you really don't have a real landline phone. Um, but anyway, yeah, getting into your cell phones to the internet coming out in 1995. And I was in college back then, and I had to purchase a computer for school. Back then, I had bought a Gateway, which cost me $2,000 back then in the day. Things were not cheap. That was very, very expensive, and that's when computers first came out on the market. Now today, you can get a laptop for what, three, $400, $500, something like that, and boom, you turn it on. You don't even have to plug no cables into it. It picks up the Wi-Fi, and you're good to go. But I mean, many things have changed. I mean, even going from music back when I was a kid, we'd listen to stuff on a transistor radio, and then we'd record it on a little recorder for that we had a cassette tape in, you know. I mean, or we'd have vinyl records that we'd have 45 stacked up on the vinyl record player, and boom, each one would drop down, and we'd listen to each single album, single record or album. Um, Back then, that was our playlist type of thing. And then, of course, how things had changed over the years. I mean, now look at, you can record and do everything on a cell phone. Uh, you can uh, you can do everything with a cell phone today that we couldn't do back before 1995. Has the internet ruined society? I say yes, it has. It kind of woke people up. They have access to everything, and now we're getting into the fiction part of the internet. Why I say that is because now AI is involved in everything, and you don't know what's real or what is fake, and you really have to watch these videos really, really closely. You can go on Chat GPT and tell Chat GPT that you want Chat GPT to make a, say, a podcast like this with you, explaining to people the collapse of the economy, and it'll have you there talking and everything, words fitting everything you're saying, and telling this whole spiel about the economic collapse. And people think it's real when it's all made up by Chat GPT. AI is doing all that now, and it's getting to the point where you don't know what is fake and what is real. It's similar to these Chinese robotic dolls that they sell. Well, it's not actually, when you talk to a robot doll, the robot isn't talking to you. That's somebody from China that is talking to you through that AI doll type of thing. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on that people don't realize. You also have a lot of damage that's happening to us. Um, and the farmers in America are selling out left and right because they can't afford to stay farmers anymore. Everything's costing them so much. I mean, the equipment they use to plant your crops, and maintenance on them, and insurances and everything else they pay. I mean, it's just, and then you grow these crops, and then the government says, "Oh, well, we don't need them now, so throw them away." Well, guess what? You can't give them to stores or any of that other stuff. You have to throw it away because the government tells them. In other words, the food is a no sale item. So, of course, who loses on that situation? Well, the people that are hungry in this country, and uh, the farmers just lost out on the payment of all them crops that they grew. So they don't get paid anything for that. They may get a little subsidy from the government to assist them and put them deeper in debt, of course. So it's kind of a no win, no win situation. You can watch many of these videos on YouTube and you can see the hardships that people across our country are going through. This government is really totally causing this country to go ballistic. It's going to cause more riots, more division, more chaos, more theft, more crimes, of course. You even have people that aren't getting their SNAP benefits that have stated that they will, if they see you come out of a grocery store and go to your vehicle, they're going to rob you and all the items that you bought in the grocery store. Um, are you armed? Do you have pepper spray? Do you have a little handheld taser? Do you have a weapon on you that you can protect yourself with? Um, these are all things that are going to start. I mean, it's happening now. So, like I say, this is a total collapse of our country right now. And now that you have Ramdami or whatever the hell his name is, just winning the position there in New York City, that's going to push for more Muslims to be in that city. And as he had said, a warning to Trump is turn up the volume. What that tells me is now he's given the Muslims the right to put speakers up throughout the city so that they can listen to their 5 praying times morning, noon, and night and wake up every person that lives in New York City by these Muslim prayers and uh, taxes going higher, people being put out in the streets. It's already happened anyway. You have homeless veterans that were living in veterans facilities forced out of those facilities, and now those facilities are taking care of our illegal immigrants that were installed into our country because the Democrats wanted the voting power to rule this country, rule over you, and make you more of a slave than you already are today. I don't know what else I could tell you except for prepare. What little bit you have or that you can afford, like I have stated, and I don't mean to keep on repeating myself, but these are things that you must do now. Get medication that you need for now and hopefully the future. Because what you can purchase now, you may not be able to get next month or the month after that. And some of you may be saying, oh, yeah, right. Well, we'll be okay. No, you won't be okay. Do you not understand what I am telling you? This is a time when this country is falling apart. Every country falls like Rome had fallen. This country is at that point now where it is going to crash. The stock market's going to crash. You could go to the bank tomorrow and they could say, sorry, sir, we cannot give you your money. Because what are these banks doing? Well, they're buying silver and gold to try and hold on to whatever wealth they have. Like I stated, you have the Federal Reserve that's pushing money into the stock market to make it look like things are good, but they're not good. Because as you know, if you go to a store, you will notice the prices are continuously going up. Now, I spoke about gold and silver. If you can afford gold, purchase gold. If you feel more comfortable with silver, purchase silver. It went up over $55 an ounce and now it's down in the $40 range. Get it while you can. Here in the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis had passed a bill in our state government where this year coming up, we'll be able to purchase items with gold and silver. So that tells me that he's telling you to prepare and purchase gold and silver because your paper dollar is going to be used for nothing except for toilet paper. I mean, it's not real money anymore. The last term when the government, yeah, actually, what I was going to say is the last term when President Trump was in office, he made the US dollar the petrodollar, which is fine because at least we had something backing the American dollar. But when Joe Biden was installed into our government, that ceased to exist. And this country has gone down the tubes since then. You know, for a government to go ahead and run on $800 billion a year, and now we're $38 trillion in debt in just 8 years, should wake you up a little bit. Like I had stated before, back in 2017, I went to purchase a home for 65,000. I lost out on that home and went to find another home to purchase, and all of a sudden, boom, the houses went from 65,000 to 165,000 to 265,000 within a few short weeks. Why did that happen? That was when Donald Trump was in office. Why did everything quadruple in price? That didn't make sense to me. And that was before the pandemic happened. Okay. So, was it a way for these elites to definitely take control of the people? Because right after all them prices went up in 2017, what happened? Oh, mysteriously in 2019, the pandemic popped up. People had to be restricted to their homes. They were forced to get that poke in the arm, which now even someone working for Pfizer says that it could do and is causing more health issues and death in people. Uh, and they did it all on purpose. That was part of the World Economic Forum's depopulation scheme. Let's see here. Who else was doing it? Oh, yeah, Mr. Gates. And now he's into a lot of that disease curing stuff all of a sudden. He has no degree in any kind of medical records to be involved in that. Same with his uh, robotic mosquitoes that are supposed to kill off other mosquitoes that carry, say, malaria and things of that nature and other diseases. Um, and also now all these social media platforms are AI operation under AI now. You have Facebook that it started with Meta and now it's AI operations. You have Amazon who is laying off hundreds of thousands of people because they're reducing their workforce and they're putting AI robots. So your robotics are taking over the jobs that you should be doing. Everything now that's going to happen is bankrupting you and me. Like I stated, our government can send billions upon billions to other countries, but they can't take care of the American people. Let me think here. Didn't you vote in the elections here in the United States? Um, are you noticing that something is really wrong here? The same people that were for the working man and women, of course, which was another way for the government to take advantage of you instead of having one man work and take care of the whole family. They pushed this feminism stuff so women could work. So now, guess what? They could keep your wages lower and put women in the workforce and take control of your children in school and put all these mentally ill ideas into their brains. And now look what you have for generations now. Oh my God. They think everybody owes them everything. But to get into that point, this AI generation and digital currencies and everything is totally tearing this country apart. I don't know if you know it or not, but this is pushing our country into a civil war because everybody's so divided on everything today. Okay, whether it's your culture, your ways of life, your religions, whether you're LGBTQ plus, transgenderism. You have all these different things that are going on, and it's like, holy crap! When does it stop? All this division. Why? Why? Because they can control you. They like you divided, not knowing which way to go or what to do. I mean, no matter what you do, it's still something else going on the next day. They're keeping you confused and they're doing that for a reason because what's going on here, they're not telling you what's going on over here. I mean, it's getting a little bit on the insane side now to try and live a normal life in today's society. Um this Democratic government is pushing for these illegal immigrants so they can secure power in this country. And then, of course, take more away from you at the same time and give it to these illegal immigrants and such. Okay. Um, and you get nothing. They don't care. They'll bankrupt you. They'll make you poor. They'll make you live in the streets. They keep on raising your property taxes. if you live in a state that you pay property taxes. And what do? Well, if you can't cover the property taxes, even though your home's paid off, guess what? Those property taxes, they're going to take your home away from you because of those taxes. And of course, it's not like you could go 2 to 5 years without them getting you out of your house, because they don't want you to have the chance to come up with the money in back taxes to keep that home. They're going to steal it from you, and then they're going to put some illegal immigrants into your home. Isn't that nice? How they're manipulating everything in this society today. Now, excuse me. Unfortunately, we we have to figure out a way to survive. My next video, I'm going to have the phone number, or you can even Google search it, for the your congressman, your senate, your politicians, or you can contact them through the switchboard at the White House or Capitol or whoever the heck is running the switchboards there, to contact government politicians, and it doesn't make a difference if it's your state or not. And let them know that they're going to be voted out. Let them know that if things do not change very quickly here, to expect the American people to overthrow this government, because civil war is about to break out throughout this country, and it doesn't have to do with whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American. I mean, it doesn't matter what your nationality is. People are to the point where they're going to try to survive and get what they need, and they're going to go by any means they can to get what they want. Whether they beg, borrow, or steal, they're going to find a way to get what they want. And these people today don't care if they take your life or not. It's you or them. And that's how survival works in a chaotic country. America is no longer home of the free because of the brave. America is turning into Amerizuela, similar to Venezuela. Venezuela was a very, very rich country, and the people were very, very happy until they had a different change in their government. And now people go without food, go without wages, can't make ends meet, living in the streets. That country had collapsed. Okay. Um, Excuse me. I know you just don't want to see this stuff. This is old news on here. Excuse me a second. But I mean, you get to the point here where, do you know what to do? Do you know how to survive? What do you have to survive? Do you have enough food? Do you have enough water? Me, as an individual, I am a survivalist. I have been preparing for years upon years upon years. Of course, I live here in Florida, so I do stock up on food and water and medicine and things of that nature, because when a hurricane goes through here, I've gone as long as 21 days without power. And I didn't always have solar power to get by. Now that I do have solar power, I basically don't care if the power grid goes down because the solar will keep me going for a little while. I not only have solar power, I also have a generator with a 30-gallon tank, which I would run only when I needed to run it. Um, and that would be basically to charge up, say, the batteries on my solar power system. And it doesn't take long for that at all. Actually, it takes like a half hour's time. So I could charge up my batteries on my solar power system in a half hour to an hour's time, plus use the generator to do other things, and then shut the generator down, live off of my solar power system, and it runs my refrigerator. It runs everything. Right now, I'm running on solar on all this stuff here, right here and now. So you're able to uh, do these things when the power grid's down. And like I say, it's one thing that we learned by living here in Florida was to stock up on gasoline, stock up on propane. For my cooking, I not only have my propane stove, but I also have a Coleman white gas powered stove, and you can even use gasoline in that if you wanted to. And it's got the pump on it where you pump it up and everything, and then you light the burners. It's fine. A gallon of white gas usually lasts me, I would say, 6 months minimum for a gallon of gas on a Coleman three burner stove. Um, do you have candles? Do you have the outdoor solar lights that you put around your walkway and stuff like that? Those can all be used for a light source in the evening. Same like I mentioned earlier, your kerosene lanterns, um, as well as flashlights, of course. Um, do you have spare batteries for your flashlights? Do you have water? I buy the 5-gallon jugs like you see in these water dispensers around in these different buildings and stuff. I buy those 5-gallon water jugs because they last a long time and the plastics on those do not leach into the water. It's a different kind of material altogether. Uh, and I know FEMA says for people to have 1 gallon per person per day. I myself believe in 3 gallons per person per day because you could use 1 gallon just for cleaning your utensils and things of that nature, cleaning your counties or stuff. 1 gallon of water for personal cleaning, and the other gallon that you could use in your food and things of that nature when you're cooking either pasta or rice and things of that nature. Even making coffee. There are many people that even have gone back to the old metal percolators for coffee. Because if the grid goes down, your coffee maker is not going to work. But if you have an open fire, say like a Coleman stove or a gas stove or something of that nature, you'll be able to heat up that water and uh, perk up a pot of coffee. So you're good to go there. Things like that you need to keep yourself going. Cleaning supplies, toilet paper. I'm not saying to go out and go crazy and buy all kinds of toilet paper. Me as a single person, I could buy the big bundle of toilet paper, and that's uh, roughly say 28 rolls of paper or something like that. Uh, Myself, I average 1 to 1.5 rolls of toilet paper a month. So I would have more than a year's worth of toilet paper for myself. Um, But these are things, like I say, the canned goods and everything else that I've purchased. I know how to survive. And I didn't just do it in a couple of days. I've been doing this stuff for years and rotating my canned goods and sauces and things of that nature. Don't go by the people think it's an expiration date on these cans. They're not an expiration date. They're a best buy date. So if you buy a product and okay, this is 2025 and it says the best buy by December of 2025. Well, after December 2025, you can still keep that product. It doesn't mean that it's not good. It just slowly starts losing its nutritional value of that item that's in that can. As long as the can isn't rusty or bulging at the seams or anything like that, that product is fine. I've eaten canned food that was 7 to 10 years past its expiration date, and it's been fine. Opened it up, put it in a pot, cooked it up a good 5 minutes, and got it good boiling hot. Then let it cool down so it was edible, and I never had any issues with any of that stuff. Um, there are, and rice lasts forever. Your pastas pretty much last forever. Um, Other things that I would suggest are things like your peanuts, your Brazil nuts, your pecans, your cashews, things of that nature. Those have the proper fats and things in them that help you nutritionally. I'm gonna do a video on here that I've done on past channels I have had here on YouTube, and um, maybe in the next one I will do on antibiotics as well as antibiotics to purchase, as well as being able to make antibiotics that will keep you healthy. Stock up on your different kinds of teas, like your dandelion root and leaf tea, your chamomile, your mullein tea, your hibiscus tea, your elderberry tea. All these different teas are good for you, and it's medicine. But yet, you know, government and your doctors don't want to tell you this stuff because why would they want you to be healthy? That's how they make money on you being sick. They prescribe you drugs they tell you it helps you, and all it does is puts a bandage over the issue and doesn't cure the original issue. Otherwise, you wouldn't need these drugs to keep on taking, right? But if you read the Bible, our Lord Jesus Christ stated in the Bible that there is a plant on this earth for every illness that is out there. Many of these teas, like I've mentioned, are cancer killers as well. Different teas kill certain cancers. Also, if you have kidney issues, it's the same thing with those. You have different spices and herbs, like your ginger and turmeric. They're all beneficial health wise to you. It's good to have these things on hand. The bad thing with your peanuts and pecans and all this stuff is they all do have an expiration date on those because the oils in them go rancid. So you have a certain amount of time that you'd have to purchase them and eat them and things of that nature. Um, but like I say, canning items and things like that, you you should be doing right now. And I know times are tough, but it's going to get a lot worse. What do you have that you can use for barter? Do you have ammo for your weapons, or ammo that you may be able to trade for possible food? Do you have sugar, flour, salt, pepper? I mean, all these different things. Um, how much do you have on hand to store to get by? It's not going to be pretty. A bag of potatoes, they don't last very long. So if you get them, you could can them, and then this way, guess what? They're going to last a long time, 10 years or better. And you have that food to eat. You can make soups, you can make meals, can them, and then you have them when the grocery stores collapse. And that's a good possibility. I mean, already people that are not getting their SNAP benefits, you could basically go into a grocery store and it's pretty much not many people there. You may be one of the only people now that can buy these products if you have money, because I would say 1 in 8 people receives SNAP benefits. And like I stated, in order to be able to sustain this economy right now, you have to be making more than $66 an hour to be able to get by in life, because that's what it's costing you. That's how much everything has escalated in prices. So I've gone a little longer than I wanted to on this video, and I'm sorry that you've had to listen to this, but wake up, arm up, keep your head on a swivel. This is not a good time for we, the American people here in this country. The chaos is beginning now. Is our government doing this on purpose? I believe so. It's a good way to bankrupt the American people, put everybody out of work, make people homeless, not have a place to live. I mean, what a way to control everyone, right? It's to the point now where either we'll be forced to do what they tell us to do or we go without. Could this government shutdown and the benefit shutdown be a reset? I think it could be. Uh, now that they have found out by these different states giving names and all this kind of stuff of people that are collecting these SNAP benefits, um, anyone who is an illegal immigrant in this country, our government can stop. Same with the fraudulent Social Security activity going on from these illegal immigrants. So there's a lot happening now, and this all could be part of it. By the Democrats keeping our government shut down, it kind of tells me that something's ready to happen, and I hope you're prepared for it. On that note, I'm going to I'm going to be getting out of here. I will be posting another video either within a few days or next week sometime. I'm trying to be more current here on YouTube. So stay with me. I'll try to keep people up to date on what's going on here in our great country. Unfortunately, right now it's not so great, but all we can do is pray to the good Lord that things get better. Like I stated, keep your head on a swivel, be prepared, be armed, because we don't know what's going to happen anytime, anywhere in this country right now. So, God bless you all. Have a good night. Take care. Get prepared, because things are going to get a lot worse before they start getting better. Have a good night, everyone. This is Tony D with American Freedom Fighters. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Have a good night. Take care. Tony D here. Out for now.